I'm stupid, I'm bored, I'm lonely, I'm a little bit drunk, and I want to talk about video games. Specifically, right now, this one, Cosmo Police Galivan. This game was never released in the United States, but somebody out there, I forget who, made a translation patch, which is great. So it's totally, completely playable. When I first heard about this game, I basically had to play it immediately. And then I tried it, and I couldn't get into it, and so I didn't play it. And then years later, I tried it again and couldn't get into it. And this happened like 3 times until a few months ago when I played it and got really far into it, and then got frustrated and quit. Um, but as everybody says, it's like the first thing to point out is that this game is like Metroid. You, it's pretty free roaming. You just go around. There's weapon upgrades. There's special weapons, special items that unlock new areas, and that's great and that's cool. And it doesn't really work out quite that well. Um, One of the big things about Metroid and games like Metroid is that you're in a big free roaming world, and that game, this game, haha, kind of takes that away. You're in a much smaller free roaming world because it's divided into levels, into areas. I'm in Area 1 now, clearly. So there's only so much you can do in Area 1 before going on to the next area. This is kind of, they make up for this by giving you levels. You can increase your level, which basically increases the amount of hit points you have and the number of CP, which is essentially mana, your magic points. You need that to use weapons, which right now I just got the hyper ray. That's what the person I was talking to gave me. That'll let me shoot through these doors that I'm not next to, but I will be here in a second. Alright, in 2 seconds. Bear with me here. I'm an idiot. Yeah, these. To get through these, I would use the hyper ray. But you need 5 CP to do that, and I have 0 CP. So I better get some CP, huh? That's not CP, you fucker. Alright. Essentially, in this game, enemies will drop, if they drop anything, they will drop one of 3 things: HP, CP, or I'm really bad. Fuck. Alright, CP. HP, CP, or P, which is, I guess, just power. Um, they fill up that little blue meter at the bottom above my HP and CP meters. Um, Alright, sweet. I got a level up already. When that is full, you turn into Cosmo Police Galivan mode. Whereas instead of being this kind of weak guy with holes in his knees, I don't know if you can tell that, but his knees have a pixel of skin color. Yeah, these enemies are great. You turn into like this badass. Not really, but you have like a super suit on and you're great. Or you could die. Whatever. Let's see what I have in the save states. Area 4, sure. Oh, this is at a boss. This boss is pretty hard. I guess I saved right before I killed him. That boss is not hard at all. But at this point in the game, you have a lot more blades. In each area, you obtain a new blade. Um, and you have to level them up. Everyone you get will start at level C, and then you have to level them up to A for them to reach their full potential, which is, it becomes a problem later. You also usually get an item in each area, which is just a special weapon. And they usually have very specific purposes. And then you get items, which usually serve a very specific purpose, except like auto protect and life capsule. One of those will refill your health, but it takes a shitload of CP, and the other makes you take less damage or something. Those are really the only good ones. Let's see what else I got here. That's the same one. Okay. All right. At certain points in the game, you go into an alien world. That's me in my Cosmo police suit. And you find these computers, and you can jump into them somehow. All right, that's how. And you go into a different world. Like this is the regular world, and where I just was the alien world. This is the one that you spend most of the game in, just with regular enemies. And this is the alien world, which I personally like a lot better because it's all blue and purple, and the enemies are weird looking. But there are a lot of these Medusa bosses that you have to fight a lot, with mini bosses. It's a pretty fun game. Um, Being limited to different areas is kind of disappointing, and you really do have to explore the entire area before you can continue. But the really bad thing about this game is are the blades. As I mentioned, when you get one, it starts at level C, and you basically have to get it up to level A. The last blade in the game, which I think comes after the Hyper, the one I have here in Area 5, the last blade, its power is based on the levels of all of the previous blades. So if you don't have them all maxed out, you're gonna get a less than stellar weapon. And this is part of the problem. The other problem is your weapon Hyper at level C does the same damage as Thunder at level B. So I spent a lot of time leveling Thunder up to level A, and then when I finally got Hyper, it was a downgrade. And usually when you get the blade, that's the last thing you get before you go to fight the boss of the area. So yes, Hyper B and Hyper A would be stronger than Thunder. But Hyper C is weaker than Thunder A. And just having to make a downgrade is disappointing. And it takes a long time to level up these weapons. This is a pretty powerful enemy for just a regular enemy. Let's see, I have 58 experience on Hyper now. I kill this guy and I get 61. 3 experience. And I think to get this up to level B, I may need 170 or 200. Maybe even higher than that. I don't remember. I just remember at this point going, alright, I've had enough of this shit. I'm done. This is a room that will kill me for standing in it. So I need to use one of these stupid items to get through it. Probably barrier shield. Let me find out. No, I don't know. I died. Okay. Game over. So it's totally a fun game, and it's alright. It's ugly as shit. But for the most part, other than that, it's pretty alright. Uh, if you don't mind grinding, that really killed it for me. I don't have any CP. Super. Maybe someday I'll come back and finish this game. But as far as I'm concerned now, at this point in my life, I got far enough to to know what the rest of the game is like. Cosmo Please Galivan, totally fun, totally worth the playthrough, and I'm sure if you could get past the grinding, it's great. I guess it's based on an anime or a manga, and it was also an arcade game before this, but it didn't really have you know, the exploration. It was just more of a wander around and kill everybody. Much more linear than this. And it was also a Super Nintendo sequel, which I thought would be great. I thought it would just be like an amped up version of this, but it's like a beat 'em up, and it's really bad. So unfortunately, they didn't do anything with this. But whatever, it's an alright game. That's about all I have to say for it.